Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome. I'm Marsha C, and welcome to another episode of Her Sacred Soul Space. Here we have fabulous discussions that stirs our heart and soothes our soul. So I'm so happy to be here with you today. As you can see, my fellow co-hosts are not here with me. That is Yolande, Dr. Fisher, Beatrice, and Natalie. But guess what? They send their love. They send their special love just for you. And I'm going to ask you to keep them in your heart space today, right? So that they can feel your love as well. I'm so excited to be here with you because today starts a beautiful month. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so to all my pink sisters, as you can see, I'm representing a little bit here. And to all my pink sisters, I just want to send you some pink love vibration. I just want you to know that I affirm you. I affirm your strength, your tenacity. You know, this is something that is dear to my heart, not because myself is an early stage breast cancer survivor or pink blessing, as I love to call myself. I don't really do the survivor thing, but because my dearest and best friend of 38 years just passed away last month from breast cancer. So it is so important for me just to continue to spread that love to those who are currently in this journey, whether or not you are waiting to hear back your results, whether or not it is indeed a part of the journey you're walking right now, or whether or not you're in the post stage of this journey. I just want to affirm you and just to let you know that you're not alone. And even to your families, the family members who have been helping on this journey, thank you so much for playing your part and walking this journey with my fellow pink sisters. So, I just wanted to say that it is so important for me to do. And so at this time, before we even go any further, I'm just being led to just hold space for those pink sisters, hold space for the family members as well, and just to send out some healing energy and vibration. So what we're going to do is just close our eyes and do our 3 breaths and have the intention of healing for them, healing for our sisters, for our pink sisters, and just all that love, send all that love to them, okay? So let's do this right now. We're just going to take a deep breath in and release. Another deep breath. And on this breath, you are sending out all that love and light to all the pink sisters who are going through breast cancer right now. And feel that vibration as you release. And on your final breath, you set the intention of walking with them in this journey, regardless of whether or not you know them or not. Just the intention of you supporting in solidarity for those who are going through this journey. And you just hold it and release it. Yeah. Wow. My pink sisters, I love you. I love you. I love you. Okay. So I'm here with a beautifully spirited goddess, Miss Johnnie Proby, and I love to call her JP. And we are here just to talk about her self-care. And this is specifically going to be devoted or dedicated to my pink sisters as we're celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And so we are just going to go dive right into it. We are going to learn more about Johnnie, her practice, and how she too can walk with you while you're on this journey. So let me go ahead and share a little bit about her, and then we can go from there, right? Okay. Johnnie Proby, known as the classic voice healer, is a certified music practitioner, sound energy healer, and HeartMath Certified Practitioner who helps people facing chronic illnesses, stress, anxiety, trauma, burnt out, grief, and loss, and those in transition to calm the mind, heal the body, and uplift the spirit. She facilitates live and virtual healing concerts and wellness workshops. That includes lyrical sounds, crystals, alchemy, singing bowls, Tibetan Singing Bowls, tuning forks, and other healing modalities. Through her S.M.I.L.E program as a self-care expert, she provides one-on-one self-care accountability laser coaching to women, moms, and caregivers to help them towards a life of peace, calm, and radiant health. Welcome, Miss JP, to Her Sacred Soul Space. Yay! I am so happy, so happy to have you here. Okay, is there anything else you want to add to that bio? Because firstly, I want you to know, when I read that, I was like, ooh, I want to be in her space. I need her to come do some healing with me. It just made me wanted to know more. It made me curious as to hear more about how you being a sound practitioner and how does it help others to heal as they go through their journey. So is there anything else you want to add to this bio? Tell me something fun about yourself that we may not know.
Oh, something fun is I just love relaxing. Every chance I get, I was like, when I get up in the morning, what can I do to make me feel better? That's just the way to start the day. And so I start the day that way and I end the day that way. But I wanted to add to your list there, please include the Pink Sisters, because yes, they are the ones that I love taking care of as well, providing tips, tools, and techniques to help them on their blessed journey.
Yes.
So thank you so very much.
Yes. Okay, so before I go into you telling me a little bit more about your practice and everything, you just brought up a point because I'm so curious. Why is it so important to you to work with the Pink Sisters, those who are going through breast cancer, whether or not they're currently in the journey or post-journey? Why is it so important to you to work with them?
Well, first of all, I have family members who have transitioned from breast cancer and other cancers. I know the importance of growing up with someone who you love dearly as a mother, a sister. And when you watch what they go through and there's nothing that you can do other than just being there for them, sometimes that's just enough. Yeah. Because all they need to know is that they're not alone. Yeah. And that lifts me up when I know that I can be of service to others. And that's why God put me here to serve our sisters, to let them know that they are not alone. So yes, we are in it together.
That's so important because that emotional need plays such a huge role, regardless of what stage, early stage, stage 1, 2, 3, it doesn't matter. It plays such an important role and need and desire when you're going through that journey. So I'm so happy that you have accepted the call to be the vessel to walk with us. Yes,
absolutely.
So, tell our viewers as myself, tell us a little bit more about your practice. What does it entail? Why is it so important for us to want to rush to your door and to work with you?
Wow, beautiful question. And thank you so much again for the invitation today. My practice really focuses on self-care, if you have to put it under an umbrella. And as I said earlier, self-care begins the moment we wake up or the time we go to bed at night and all throughout the day. What's important about self-care and my practice is that through therapeutic music, I've learned the importance of we all already have a relationship with music, but how can it benefit us? How can it serve us? And so what the work that I do when it comes to self-care is reminding us the importance of putting ourselves first. And that's always so difficult for women in general, because we are the givers, we are the pleasers, we are the ones that want to make sure that everyone is taken care of. But then who's caring for us? Yeah. When we put ourselves last. Yeah. So the work that I do is just really being your accountability partner to remind you the importance of, if your cup is empty, what do you have to give to someone else? Yeah. Fill up your cup first. As they tell us when we're on the flight, put your mask on first, and then you can help the others around you. So that's what my work is all about. It's just really using sound, music, energy, vibrations, and other modalities to just really remind you that you are first, and then you can take care of those around you.
So, when you talk about self-care, when I think about it in a way, even an average person who is not going through a journey as breast cancer, when you think about self-care, it is something that is not really in your forefront of your mind and want to do. And so what type of encouragement would you give someone to say, even if this is the only thing you do while you're going through this journey, even if it's for 5 minutes, it will help to kind of move the vibration or the frequency with you. What is that one thing you would say to them that's important for them to do?
Yeah. The one thing that I would say is when you look in the mirror, you have to say to yourself, I love you, and say your name. Because you may not get that from anybody else throughout the day.
Oh my gosh.
But you have to start with that for yourself, because what you do to take care of yourself is how others treat you. It's a reflection of how others will treat you.
Yeah.
So if you start your day throughout the day, I love you, and give yourself a hug. And how many hugs do we get throughout the day? Sometimes we're in the house by ourselves and we may not get a hug from anyone, maybe but from our pets, our beautiful animals. And so love yourself. Give yourself a hug when you first get up in the morning, before you even get out of bed. Hug yourself. I love you, Johnny, or I love you, Marcia. And just really put that. Yes.
I love you, Marcia.
I love you. Yes. Absolutely. Because the truth of the matter is there's only one you. God didn't make another Marcia. He didn't make another Johnny.
Yeah.
So there's only one footprint, your handprint. So love you.
Yeah. And hugs are so important. Trust me. I'm going to tell you, because last week, like I said, my best friend Chammy Johnson passed away, and I was in a space of I didn't really want to talk, but I just wanted a hug. I just wanted that person to sit next to me, and just that energy, even if you don't physically, the energy and the intention of a hug towards me alone would just suffice, and just to help to heal my soul, regardless of, because regardless of how you may understand death and everything, when it's someone close to you that passes away, and especially passed away from a disease that you overcame, right? It hits so hard in your soul and in your heart. So yeah, definitely, ladies, please do tell yourself how much you love yourself, and give yourself a big old hug, because we all deserve that hug,
Absolutely.
So let's talk about your inspirational methods, your self-care methods that you utilize and that you teach. And why is that important? Why is it important for you to choose those methods to work with others?
Yeah. So what's important with those methods is they began with, again, knowing how to love yourself, but yoga, meditation, and I would start with meditation. And meditation could be even just 5 minutes of just being still and just allowing the thoughts to come and go. But your breath is important as you sitting there in that space, because there are a lot of times, for me, I'm in my head a lot, and it's always come back down to heart. Come back to heart. And when I'm in my heart space, I feel so much relief. And I know that I don't have to prepare for a lot of stuff in my life. I just have to be. And it's interesting. Just recently, I had a dream, and the word be was like shouting from the mountaintop, just be. And I woke up thinking, okay, I can be me. And it's just so important. It's like that just resonated with me. So those techniques of meditation, mindfulness, even when you think about you're driving down the street, you've got to get to an appointment, you're in a rush, and you're just not sure you're going to make it. In that moment, what I do for self-care is I know that I'm in my rightful place. I know that everything is in divine order. I know that I will arrive on time. And it always works out that way. But to sit there and rush and be in that state of anxiety while I'm driving is not helping the situation. And when I get there, I'm in a panic. I'm in nervousness state of mind and vibration. So the more I can just sit in calm and just know that the spirit, the universe, the angels are taking care of everything. So when I arrive, I will arrive in divine time. Yes. And it always works out.
Yes. Yes. I went to an event a few months ago, and there were individuals giving little speeches and stuff. And this young man went up and he was just like, just be. It was so profound. That's just be. 2 words. And, to me, it trumped everything that everybody else who went out before him said. And when you said that about be, it just resonated in my spirit like, oop, there it is. Just be. And sometimes it's hard, especially when you're going through a tough journey like breast cancer. How do I just be in this journey when your mind and everything else is, your emotion is plain and moving like a roller coaster. How do I just be, right? And
Yeah.
I know that you've utilized like affirmation techniques and breathing techniques and sound techniques. Could you just touch on those a little bit individually, please, so we can
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Affirmations, when we do things in a repetitive state, it sort of like has to get through our minds and then our hearts and then through our bodies when we want to feel, do I really feel like I'm loved? When we say, I'll go back to our first example, I am loved. I love you. I am loved. I am loved. I am loving. So I might have to say that throughout the day before I really start to believe that, before I really feel that. So when we say affirmations, we want to be able to say something that we resonate with and work through that affirmation. Just repeating it. We might have to repeat it for a whole week before we begin to really start feeling what that feels like. And as we've raised those vibrations within our bodies to begin to embody the feeling of I'm loved, I'm loving, I'm lovable. When we feel that, that's the energy that we're putting out into the universe.
Yes.
And that's the energy that we draw right back to us.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, we are vibrational beings. And when we stretch out our hands from both sides, from the tips of our fingers, that's the energy space that we occupy in this world. It's not just this straight person, I'm standing straight. All of this out here and outside of us is a part of who we are. And we can attract those vibrations from those around us as well as what we give out.
Yeah.
So we want to affirm for ourselves, I am enough. I am love. In all of the spaces that we occupy, and let that be the resonating force that lifts us to our healing, to our best, and to all that God has for us.
Okay. Before you touch on even the breathing or the sound, when you affirm yourself, this is what I know for sure. When you affirm yourself, and Jackie talked about, you then are familiar with that energy of that affirmation, right? And and because it becomes now a part of you, when you go into a space that does not reflect that energy within you, you feel it right away and know that this is not where I belong. That's one of the things that popped in my head when you were talking about, when you practice it and you may not feel it right away, but a week or two into it, you're like, something shifted. I'm just happy today. You wake up happy, you may have a bag of problems, but that's just a bag of problems that you don't have to carry with you everywhere you go, right?
That is right.
That vibration, when you're in it, you definitely know when you're in a space that you don't belong, because now you're more elevated. We're elevated. So tell me about the sound and the breathing. Do you normally work both together or individually?
Actually, both. So I'll just tell you, when I'm using sound, sound may come from my own voice, and God has given each of us a voice, and that's our own power and strength. So a sound could be just a sigh. When you sigh, you're releasing toxins from the body. So God has already given us that, and whatever sounds that it may come. It might be a moan, it might be humming. Just, as you're walking around the house, just doing your normal thing. Whatever sound that comes through, that's your soul sound. We're in the soul space.
Yes.
So allow, So allow that sound to just come, and don't suppress it. But when you hear your like, if you hear a sound, it's your voice, it's your inner voice that's saying, let me speak, let me sing, let me say it. And you don't need a singing voice to allow your sound to come forth. Also, sounds can be music that we play, that we are already resonating with. There's different genres of music that we can tap into that really resonate with us and that really lifts us when you're feeling down and just feeling. I have a client that I work with frequently. And so her thing is just, if I can get the energy just to turn on the radio, I know I'm going to have a good day, because it's a painful thing just to be able to use my fingers right now because they're so sore because of all that I've been going through.
Yeah.
So just turning on the radio and listening to music, and that sound could be just listening to a rainfall. maybe going to Google and just Googling music for relaxation, or music to get over anxiety, or music for stress, those beautiful sounds that you will hear. And there's so many out there that's available that sometimes they are at length. They could be as short as 10 minutes. They could be as long as 8 hours that you can just let play while you're sleeping and relaxing. And all of that nourishes your energy, nourishes your nervous system, and keeps you calm and relaxed.
You know, when we were younger, we hear grandma do the humming in the kitchen, you know,
right.
doing the humming, doing some chores in the yard and everything. And then, you know, individuals would say, you have a song on your heart or a song in my spirit. And honey, it would be out of the blue. I will just get one of those old songs from when I was a kid growing up in Jamaica, and it just comes, you know, going to church, and it just comes in my spirit, and I just start singing it. I find myself start dancing, you know, and pretend I'm in the church playing the guitar, you know, do my thing like that, you know. But it does. It makes you feel good. And I was like, why did you bring this to me? But it didn't really matter because I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the memory. It helps me to recognize how important and how powerful God is. So I so love what you said. He already gave that to, even if you as a person don't think you can sing. Just like you say, that sigh. And normally with sighing, there's a negative connotation associated with it. But when you just talked about it, it made it seem as if it's something that you would want to do. You would want to sigh it out, you know? So I'm so glad you brought that up, because you would normally just like, when you hear the sighs because of all that stress or something, not recognizing my intention is to release. So then I can have more of a clear mind to then think about how I'm going to the solution to the problems, right? So how does music help to heal the body for those of us who are going through breast cancer right now? How is it that music helps to heal? Is it that there is a frequency attached to the type of music that you do with your clients versus you just go out and just listening to some R&B song or something of the sort? Is there something specific that separates your sound and that what you use for these patients or these clients that separates you from the rest, in other words?
Yeah, very good question. So what happens from my teaching, not from my teaching, but what I've learned through my training is that there are different vibrations that connects with our organs in the body. And those vibrations that we want to have around us in certain types of music that we choose. But I always say that you don't need a degree for this. What music speaks to your heart is the music that you want to listen to. Whatever your soul says, like you just said earlier, a song just came up from my heart. It's like, where'd this come from? It's your soul speaking to you, giving you the medicine that you need in the music. And as you listen to it, that's your healing is taking place. And it's the thing that lifts your vibration. So you might be feeling, oh God, why me? Why am I going through this? Whatever you might be feeling in the moment. I just took pain medication. I don't want to have to take another one. It makes me nausea, whatever. And next thing you know, if you're listening to some music that really soothes your soul, you're not in that place of pain anymore. So what happens is it lowers your blood pressure, decreases the pain, and it also can just help take your mind off of the pain and put you in a space where you know that you will make it through this. Stabilizes your heart rate as well as reduces anxiety. And all of these methods just really help as a part of your healing. Anything that keeps you and bring you to a place of where you feel calmer, more relaxed, less fear around you, you're stepping into your healing.
Fair. That bad baby. Fair. That is when I, was going through my journey in 2018, I prayed and asked God, if you read my story in the book, No More Silence, You Too Can Rise, one of the things I asked for are breadcrumbs. And breadcrumbs are individuals that I know are designated out there, people I do not know, but they're designated to touch me as I was going through that journey, right? And one of the things that I was told by many Pink sisters who came across my path was fear, and how much fear played such a huge role in whether or not you heal or not. Because oftentimes when we're going through this, the first thing you become afraid. Am I going to live? Am I going to survive it? What's going to happen? What's the purpose? And, having to even step back and remove yourself from fear, it's fearful in itself because you don't really know how to. So having these type of sound and music, I know that would help to calm you so the fear does not get any more power. Trust me, I've seen it. I've seen how it paralyzes our soul while going through a breast cancer journey. And it is something that, listen, if I could say something that makes me mad, it's that. That's what makes me mad for my sisters as they go through this. Because if I could take an eraser and just go like this, I would just erase that from their space, from their mental thought. Because I do know that even though it's a difficult journey, sometimes God takes us through something in order for us to rise up so that we can then recognize our purpose and our path so we can do what we're called to do, So that fear is something I would so love to erase from my sisters, really and truly.
I can relate to it. You speak so passionately about it. And what happens with fear, when we are walking in fear, it truly lowers our vibrations.
Yeah.
And we can't get anywhere until we raise our vibrations. And that's why music could be such a healing force.
Yeah.
Because when you turn it on, there's nothing else that you need to do but just allow your body to absorb it. And as you do, then you can come to a place just thinking about, you know what, I may be going through this, but gratitude can lift me out of it. Let me just be grateful that I'm breathing. Let me just be grateful that I'm here. Let me be grateful because I know I have a support system through my sisters, through my pink sisters.
Yeah.
Let me just be grateful.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Gratitude. Oh my God, plays such a huge role. So, I know music therapy, but then there's live therapeutic music. Talk to us about the difference between those, for those of us who may not understand.
Yeah, thank you so much. So music therapy could be someone who has gone to school for maybe 4 years and have a degree in music therapy, and they provide music to patients and they're looking for a specific outcome. They may work with someone who might need to get their vocal cords, their voice back so they can speak better. They might be able to be working with someone to be able to maybe get their hands back into a certain normal state or just their body in general. But therapeutic music, from where my background is, when we are working with patients, we're not looking for anything specific other than just being and providing a space for healing. We do not interact with the patients normally. We know that their vital signs, we pay attention to that. And based on their vital signs and conditions, then we're able to allow the vessel as I'm sitting and open and being a vessel for you. Then Spirit speaks to me and allows me and bring those songs that resonate with you. Right. Our hearts are now connected.
Yes.
And so the great thing about this is if you turn on music doesn't know that all of a sudden your heart rate is changed. The music that's playing behind you doesn't know that you're feeling pain. But if I can observe you and I see what's going on with you, then I know that I need to make a slight shift in order to create a different vibration to help move you through the pain, to help move you through anxiety or fear, whatever it is that you might be going through. So the difference is, through therapeutic music, we observe you and be able to provide in the moment music, vibrations, sound that can help you make a slight shift that brings in a healing energy around you.
Yeah. Wow.
Through you.
That sounds so good. Oh my God, it sounds so beautiful. Because when you talk it, I see things when people talk. So I see you sitting there. I see, your client or the patient there as well. And, which leads me to, because I know you do long distance as well. You do virtual healing as well as, one-on-one. How is it how do you get that same effect when you are doing it virtually? For those who don't understand that energy It's everywhere. You can tap in regardless of where you are. Can you explain that? Because when you're present with someone, you can also see the body moving or function. So you can see the impact. Virtually, how do you get to understand that it is moving or it's working?
Again, you're observing the eyes, you're observing the body language of the person that you're working with, and you also connected to your own inner instincts, your soul instincts, as you're saying, and spirit moves you and tells you, like, I might be singing. And then all of a sudden I might hear, just be still, be silent. Because the spirit's saying to me, allow her to absorb what you just released. Yes.
Oh, Johnnie, you're awesome, man. That alone in itself, that is just so awesome. Oh gosh, thinking about 2018, and I remember after I went through my surgeries and everything, I was looking for a space. I just needed to be around people, like-minded people. I was looking for a safe space, a retreat or something. There may be things that I found, but I couldn't afford it. Or they were too far away or something. And I just wish I had somebody to sit with me and do exactly what you just did and what you're describing. So I am so happy that you are on this path, to walk with us Pink Sisters. And for those of us in the Atlanta area, trust me, you want to get with Johnnie Proby, with JP, and her information will definitely be placed in the description box so that you can be able to connect with her in such a beautiful way. Let's go into specifically now the therapeutic music for the breast cancer survivors, or if you're currently still going through that journey. Is there a difference? Do you use a specific music for those who have gone through and are in the space of, now what? Who am I? How do I reconnect with my heart and soul in such a beautiful way? Versus those who are laying on the bed, whether it's in hospice or whether it's just in the hospital, whether it's just at home. Is there a difference as to how you approach, or do you also allow spirit to lead? Sorry, it's a long question. Break it into.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a beautiful question, though, because the outcome is, whichever one we're dealing with, the outcome is we want to be healed. We want to be made whole. And so I take in the information based on the person's condition and what they're dealing with and what they see for themselves. And then we take that information and then we work forward to be able to make sure that they can get to that point. So I would outline, so music could be, what I always say, 3. You want a morning playlist, you want something for the afternoon, and you want something for evening. Morning is renewing yourself, something that makes you feel, I have a playlist, that I use, and there's one song that comes to me that's Order My Steps. And I want to know that from the time I wake up in the morning, order my steps, because I have no idea what's in front of me. So it's whatever I'm guided to. In the afternoon, we want to take that noon time to reset, because we've made it through the morning and now it's time to reset so we could make it through the rest of the day. And then in the evening, we want to do something that's relaxing. And what's important about relaxation is sleep is so important when you're healing, because our bodies heal when we are sleeping. Yeah. And so when we can find something, if your bedtime is, let's say 10 p.m. and maybe at 8 o'clock, you can start playing something that sort of like gets you into that relaxed state. Yeah. And it prepares you to start getting for rest. So your body is acclimating to, okay, I know it's time for me to start shutting down. And as I begin to shut down, I know I can enjoy a nice cup of tea, aromatherapy, a nice, relaxing bath. Those things are important because it just also adds to being able to get a good night's sleep, peaceful rest, because that's a part of the healing. And it allows you, again, to wake up the next day refreshed, renewed, because you've taken the time to really give yourself that care the night before.
Yeah.
But to get back to your original question, I would say that each person is different. Even though they're all on a healing journey, they may need something different.
Yeah.
So I would work with the person one-on-one, because their backgrounds may be different as to what they're accustomed to. And so I would also want to incorporate the familiarity of things that they are familiar with. Maybe they might be used to getting up in the morning, going out, sitting on the porch and having a cup of tea or coffee, or maybe they just like to go and meditate. Maybe they might just want to sit and do a yoga early in the morning. So it depends upon what the person really needs. I would set a treatment based on their individual needs, based on their long-term outcome of what they really want.
Yeah.
And I just kind of match all those things together. But it's important that there are different areas. Again, it may come to, what does it take when you say loving self? What does that feel like? What does that look like for you? And so I have these 5 categories in my S.M.I.L.E program that we focus on, in those 5 categories that we take. So what does that look like for you? And then we build your treatment around that. So that way, this is specifically for your healing. Okay. Specifically for what you need.
Wow. That's beautiful. I like that. So you're not a number anymore. We see you, basically you're saying, I see you, and it's just you at this moment, versus, all the other parts of their treatment where you're a number, you get surgery, okay, you go to chemo, radiation, or whatever it is, still a number, Yeah. And now coming to you as a practitioner, it's more of, I see you, beautiful. I see your soul. So that is just so awesome.
Yes. Yes.
One of the things we love to do here on Her Sacred Soul Space is leaving a soul gem. And that is a tool that my beautiful sisters could utilize next week, next month, whenever they're led to go back to this episode to say, let me see what JP had again for us to do. So I want to know, what tool did you bring for us to put in our soul gem box that our Pink sisters be able to utilize as they go through this journey?
Oh, this is so exciting. Yeah. I'm going to tell you, I recently... this is how good God is. Okay. I joined Oprah Daily. And when you join, she has this beautiful quarterly magazine that she sends out. And it's as a part of being there. And I wanted this magazine so bad, because when I joined, it's like, okay, well, I guess I won't get the magazine, or maybe it's going to come digitally. But just the other day, it came in the mail, and it was like Christmas. It felt like Christmas when it arrived. And when I opened it up, this beautiful oceanic breath treatment was just laid out right here. So I'm like, it says, take a breath, take a breather. And I think this is beautiful, because what it allows you to do is, when you breathe in, you're breathing, I'm going to just say it. So when you're breathing in, it almost sounds like the ocean waves going in and out is the idea behind it. So when you breathe in, you're breathing in with your mouth open.
Okay.
And when you breathe out, breathe in. And breathe out. Complete the circle one more time. And it sounds like an ocean wave. And you can do that anywhere. You could be sitting on your couch between commercials, watching your favorite TV show, and just taking a moment to breathe. Just finish morning prayer, take a moment to breathe. Just finish your radiation treatment, take a moment to breathe. And it's just important to remember that no matter what it is that you're going through, where you are in life, your breath is the one thing that will be your surviving tool, no matter where you are. Okay. Care for self.
Yeah. Wow. I love that. Breathing is vital anyways, because that's the only way we are still here, because the breath that was placed in us, I want to say, when we're doing the ocean wave breath, Do we then, are we manifesting or are we focusing on the outcome we want, or it's just breathing? Just breathe.
You're really just breathing.
Okay. Yeah.
And what I would say is, for me in this space is I always go to gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Because gratitude is the one thing that will elevate us to a higher mountain, no matter how much we might feel like we're in the valley.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for me is I'm breathing in the gratefulness of whatever it is. And I'm allowing my diaphragm to expand as much as it can. And then when I'm releasing, I'm releasing and letting that go.
Okay. Thank you, Johnnie.
Yeah.
This is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. I am so grateful, exercising my gratitude here, loves. I am so grateful that you were able to join me today on Her Sacred Soul Space, and be able to share such fabulous and great gems for my Pink Soul sisters. And, this is just something that I not only touched me, but I know it's going to touch our viewers as well. We normally do this soul plate thing, and soul plate is where I just drop just few reminders of what was discussed today, so you can carry those for the rest of the week or the rest of the month. And what I got from talking with Johnnie, loves, is the fact that it is okay for you to use your natural sound. You do not have to be an expert in sound or a singer or a musician to utilize your natural sound for healing. Just like Johnnie said, even a sigh goes a long way. So when that song comes in your heart while you're on this journey, utilize it. If you can't sing it, if you're too weak to sing it, hum it. And if you're too weak to hum it, let it play in your head. It is still working. The vibration is still flowing, right, Johnnie? It is still flowing.
Exactly.
Yeah, yes. And also just be grateful. The importance of gratitude goes a long way. And one of the things that I did on my journey as well, I've always said, God, I know this is bigger than me. It has to be bigger than me while you're carrying me through this. So I'm grateful that you are walking with me, and I'm grateful that you're sending those breadcrumbs, those beautiful souls who are also walking with me as well. So utilize your gratitude. You could get a journal to write it. If you're too weak to write, you can just record it on your phone and just say, I am grateful. And don't forget, every morning you wake up, you're going to look in the mirror or take up your cell phone, flip the camera around, and you're going to say, I love you, and put your name in it, okay? And just say how much you're grateful for your own